Hey there, I'm Helen Waite from the product marketing team here at Mindtickle. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to reduce your tech stack chaos and really how enablement professionals can use all the different tech that they're using in their day-to-day job to better inform their 2024 calendar. Enablement professionals, just like sales reps, are juggling a ton of different tech just to get their job done. And sometimes this means we're not always using all the insights and data and reports from these different systems to best inform a cohesive strategy. So today I'll cover 3 ways that our customers have shared that they've used specifically their CRM data and their conversation intelligence data to better inform their enablement calendar. As we're getting into planning season, think of these 3 tips and how they can help you. First, we'll look at a sales stage review. So how CI and CRM data can play into looking at the individual stages that your reps go through and how they're performing in each stage. Then we'll look into how to use this data to inform a product or service launch that you may have coming up next year. And finally, we'll look at ramp time. If you have new reps coming on board next year, how can you use learnings from this year to inform that plan? So let's get into it. The first tip is around a sales stage review. So we had a customer come to us who saw a massive spike in a decrease in their win rates at a certain sales stage. It was the discovery stage. So how can they use the data points that they have from their CRM and from their conversation intelligence to better attack this sales stage for the coming year? So in this scenario, the report that you're going to use is going to come from your CRM, and that's your conversion rates by sales stage. So in this example, this customer saw this discovery stage was really declining in their win rates. Their win rates weren't good in discovery, so the enablement team wanted to look into why that was. So what they did, the action that you'll take, is really reviewing calls from the discovery stage of those reps to look at what's actually happening in these discovery calls and what's the action that you're going to take. So in this case, you can look at sales methodology. Is the methodology that you've implemented, maybe it's MEDPIC, being followed? Or are there certain stages in discovery where MEDPIC is not being adhered to? You can look at the types of questions that your reps are asking or the content that they're sharing in this stage. What is being evaluated across a number of different calls, and then taking those findings and making sure that's implemented in your 2024 plan. That could be in the form of reinforcement. So if a certain stage has declining win rates, you may need to really focus on reinforcing training around that stage. What are your best practices that reps or BDRs, depending on the stage, should be doing? And then also look at how role plays or coaching can play a hand in reinforcing this sales stage performance. So by doing these call reviews, looking at if there's a certain sales stage where you're losing more than you were before, how can you find similarities across these calls and implement this as part of your plan for next year? Our second tip is around a product or service launch. So in the next year, if you are launching a new product or service, take learnings from the previous year. How you'll do that is looking at a report for a new product or service launch, what the revenue you made on that launch was versus your goal. So maybe you launched a new service into the market and you're looking at how you achieved, how you performed on that launch versus your goal. Maybe you didn't quite reach that revenue goal for that new product or service, and you want to reinforce that going into the new year. Or maybe you have an additional product or service launch coming up where you want to take learnings from that initial one last year. So you'll look at your revenue versus goal, and the action you're going to take is really digging into each of the calls where this product or service was pitched. So you can do this in conversation intelligence tools by easily searching the name of the product that you're looking for, so you can drill down into the calls where this was discussed. Then analyze what happened in those calls. What content was used, or rather not used? How was the rep landing the messaging for this product or service launch? Was it aligned with what marketing or product marketing put together? Were they using the content correctly? Did the prospect understand the new product or service? Did it fit with their use case or help them solve a problem for them? And then your action, how this is going to inform your plan for next year, is any launch plan adjustments. Maybe there was some content missing that the rep didn't have in order to speak to this product or service. Maybe there's team-specific enablement. Maybe your reps were able to nail the messaging for this product, but when it comes to implementation, things fell short on what the customer expected to get, or maybe the implementation wasn't as smooth as possible. That could be something that you really want to focus on for next year. And then finally, content refinement. How was the content that you had for this new product or service? Did the reps understand it? Did they use it? Did prospects engage with it? Are there learnings from prospect reactions to further pass on to marketing or product marketing for next year? And then finally, ramp time evaluation. So if you have new reps coming on board, you definitely are always looking at that time to first deal for new hires. How long is it taking for them to really get revenue in the door? That's the report you'll look at in CRM. And then the action you'll take is, again, looking at these new reps when they're in the field. How are they being coached? Is this an opportunity to coach the coach, where their managers really weren't as present, or they needed more feedback and guidance from their managers? Maybe their managers need a little help on how best to coach new hires coming in. You can also look at role plays. So preparing them for the field by doing a number of different simulations that get them ready for real world selling scenarios. And finally, doing a new hire survey. What is the feedback from new hires on their onboarding process? What do they think could be improved? And making sure all of that is incorporated into your plan for next year. So those are 3 tips that can help you use your CRM data and your conversation intelligence data to help inform your 2024 enablement plan. And for more actions and insights into how you can help plan and use all of the different tech that you have and reduce some of that tech stack chaos, scan the QR code here to get more tips from our team. Thanks so much.